Hey everyone, welcome to Relatively Refined. My name is Paula. Well, in today's video, I have a huge thrift haul to share with you. I hit the jackpot and I cannot wait to show you what I found. Bonus, all of the items that I found and that I'm sharing with you in today's video will be for sale in our online shop. So if you see something that you like, I've done the thrifting for you. All right, let's get started. All right, I'm going to share with you a rather large thrift haul of items that I have picked up to list in the vintage and pre-loved section of our online shop. You can find our online shop at relativelyrefined.com, and I will put the address down here, and it's also linked in the description box of this video and in all of our videos actually. So I picked up a whole bunch of stuff that was literally on the verge of being shipped out to the bins in many cases, and in some cases it was just on the shelves. But rather than letting it go, I thought, you know what, I can find some good homes for these items. So let me get started with this thrift haul. I also do want to add that while we do charge shipping, we charge shipping based on the size of the item that you buy. But if you buy two items of a similar size, then you're only charged once for that. So for example, if you buy two items that are small, I'll combine them and you're only charged once for the small item shipping. If you buy, three medium-sized items, you're only charged once for shipping of a medium item. So if there are multiple things that you want and you're concerned about the shipping, that's how we try to reduce the shipping costs. Also, if you have a larger order and you want to email me at relativelyrefined@gmail.com to see if there's some less expensive way to ship it, I'd be happy to do that. We have shipped overseas to the UK and to Canada, obviously not overseas, but to Canada and overseas to the UK, but it is extremely expensive. I wish there was a better way to do it, but that's just what it is. So anyway, let's get into it. I think I've said, so let's get started about 4 times, but now we're actually going to get started. All right. One of the first things I found was this beautiful, I guess you call this a decanter. It really is lovely. It has a stopper, and the stopper does have one of those plastic gaskets. And let me tell you, it's pretty tight because there we go. It's pretty airtight. So here's a close-up look at this. And here is the stopper that obviously fits right in there. So nothing is going to leak or spill out of this, but oftentimes you can put actual alcohol in these, or you can use them simply as decor. And this one's actually really quite pretty. So there's that. I also found these clear glass mugs. They're like big cafe au lait mugs. I love the large size. Every time I find these, I buy them because they are super popular. I love the way they feel in your hand. They are perfect for drinking your cafe au lait with all your steamed milk or steamed half and half on there. So there is a set of 2 of these, and these will be on the shop. I don't have prices right now for what they'll be listed at. By the time you see this video, they should be all listed in the shop and priced out. We do really try hard to be quite reasonable in our prices because we understand that you do need to pay shipping on top of that. So we do whatever we can to make it worth our time to pick these things up, but also to make them accessible to most people. So, the prices are really quite reasonable. I also found this little, this I believe is like a garlic, not a press, but a garlic grater, I think. It's really nice. Need to see what it says on the back. It says the grumpy, whatever that means on the back. I'm not sure, but it is a garlic grater. And it's really pretty substantial. I thought this was Really pretty. I love the color, almost the bone color of the ceramic. That's what it's made out of. Also in the mug department, I found 2 more of those big cafe au lait mugs. These are in this creamy white ceramic. Again, these look so pretty, even just stacked on, you know, a coffee bar in your home. They are in perfect condition, no chips or cracks. On the bottom, it says Farberware French Buffet. And you know, I'm a sucker for all things French. So I thought these were really so pretty. And I do, as I said, love the neutral color of those. And then again, in the cup and saucer department, I found a set of 3 cups and 4 saucers. I don't know the name of this pattern. If you recognize it, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I love to learn about you know, different patterns and things, but they're in this beautiful kind of gold color. They look very mid-century. And in fact, I'm pretty certain this is the same pattern that either my mother or grandmother had. I don't know, it's so familiar. So Mom, if you're watching, do you recognize this pattern? But as I said, there's a set of 4 saucers and only 3 mugs. I looked high and low for a 4th mug, but look at that beautiful color. And again, stacked in a coffee bar for autumn. How gorgeous would that be? Absolutely beautiful. I just love that pattern. I'm going to make some room here because I have a lot of stuff piled on my table. Yikes. Okay, in the tea department, we have this really adorable, I guess you would call it, looks like maybe a blueberry or a plum little teapot. It's in excellent condition. The spout and the handle look like they are, you know, twigs or wooden sticks. Really, really cute. And then it has 2 leaves on the top. And of course, the beautiful blue color. So I don't know if this is supposed to be a blueberry or a plum, not sure, but really super cute. Okay, I found these 2 restaurant ware, almost like little individual serving dishes. They are by, oh, I have to put my glasses on. I don't know why I fight it. I think I'm going to be able to see this. I know full well I cannot. They are by Syracuse China, and there is the back stamp. And there are 2 of them, and they have a red band around them. And again, how pretty are these just stacked up? And I know restaurant ware is very, very popular. So rather than let these go to the bins and get all chipped up, I grabbed those. I also found this really lovely mortar and pestle. It is a very heavy duty kind of ceramic material in this lovely white color. It will go with anyone's decor. And these also make great decor pieces, maybe stacked on top of a pile of cookbooks. Just really, really pretty on a buffet, on an open shelf in your kitchen. Again, that beautiful creamy white color. Who can resist that? It really goes with everything, doesn't it? The next things I found, well, let me just show you. This is a stack of dishes. There are 2 bowls, 1 bread and butter plate, 2 salad plates, and 2 dinner plates. And these are Limoges, Haviland Limoges. And let me just show you the beautiful detail around the edge. And then let me see if I can set these down. And there is the back stamp. I typically try to pick up plates when there are sets of at least 4, but this is beautiful. It's in perfect condition. I just thought that the pattern was just so elegant. And you know, if you're setting a special dinner just for 2 of you, you know, we're almost empty nesters. So if you're empty nesters and you're just setting a table for 2 for a special occasion, these are absolutely stunning. So I don't know if I'm going to sell them as a set. I imagine that may make the most sense. I'm not sure, but comment down below if you are interested, if you would be interested in purchasing this as a set, or if, you only want the dinner plates or you only want the salad plates. I haven't fully decided yet, but again, I will keep, pricing reasonable given the fact that, there is shipping involved. And if you bought this whole stack, shipping is probably going to run you, $9 or $10 anyway. All right, I'm going to reach across here. I bought this a while ago and I had it in my china cupboard, but I actually, here's the cycle of vintage. When you get something into your home that you like, you have to make room for it. I can't keep everything that I find. So something had to move out. So this little, I think it's probably a sake cup, is moving out, but I had it with little teaspoons in it for my, next to my, coffee bar for a while. And it was so, so pretty. And it looks very kind of fall to me. It has these wine casks and cheese and so forth. I just thought it was super cute. So this will be listed on the shop. And here again, this is the kind of thing where, let's say you bought the garlic grater, the sake cup, and something else, the teapot. If those were all small items, you'd only be charged once for shipping. So, and if there is, if you'd like to purchase multiple things and you're, again, concerned about the shipping, just email me and we'll see if we can't kind of figure out some sort of deal for you. But anyway, very, very cute. Now, these next two items, they are Russell Wright. They are creamers. Now, I do believe that there would have been a matching sugar bowl, open sugar, that fit underneath this. These were on a cart to go to the bins, and I recognized immediately that they were Russell Wright, and so I grabbed them. Now, they don't have, neither of them has their sugar bowls, and it was not on the cart, but I just thought that the colors of these were so pretty, and honestly, it's not totally obvious that it's missing the sugar bowl, and I think it would look pretty as a decor piece, and the two together are really lovely. I love the green and blue. So again, on a stack of books, maybe with some flowers or teaspoons in them, I think they would make lovely decor pieces. Excuse me while I reach over. Then I found this, it's a Longaberger basket. It's actually a tissue box holder. So you would untie these strings here. This is really just some jute twine. You'd untie the jute twine and take off this lid or pull it up, put your box of Kleenex in there, and then tie it back down. Let me show you the back stamp here. It's Longaberger, made in Ohio, and it does have this kind of bow design on the top. I would imagine you could probably sand that off if it wasn't really your style. I think I would probably also replace the jute twine with maybe some pink or blue ribbon, would be very pretty. But I thought this was so cute, so I grabbed that. And then let me grab these. There are a set of 6, yes, 6 of these little round cork-backed placemats. These are sort of luncheon sized. I love the design on these. I had been intending to keep these, but I recently found another set that are a little bit bigger that I'm going to use on my table. So I thought it was time to let these go. I think these are beautiful. And honestly, they would be great at the back of a hutch. My sister Patty thrifted some, and she used them, almost as decor on the back of a hutch. So I would say like these are the luncheon sized, really cute. And there are a set of 6 of these. All right, I also have some linens that I'm going to be listing. I have a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of these beautiful scalloped edged napkins. These are good sized dinner napkins. I mean, this is just half of them. So these are, I mean, you could almost use it for a placemat, but I do believe that they are dinner sized napkins, and they are this gorgeous butter yellow. They're even a softer yellow in real life than they are showing up on camera, but these are so gorgeous. So there are a set of 8 of these that I will be listing on the shop. All right. And then placemats, some more placemats. So I have a set, I believe, of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, let me count again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, well, 7, oh, 8. 8 of them. A set of 8 of these placemats. Oh my gosh, everything is kind of falling over. A set of 8 of these placemats. I've repeated that enough, haven't I? Here they are. They're beautiful linen placemats with the cream and green design. Let me give you a little close-up of that. It's really lovely. They are in perfect condition, no stains or tears, anything like that. Absolutely beautiful. And as I said, a complete set of 8 of them. So these will be going on the shop. Here's again a close-up of that. So pretty. And then one more set of placemats. These are really lovely. They are a very pale yellow with a white edge, band around the edge, and they probably will show up better if I hold them all up at once. They're very, very thin, really lovely. Again, a soft butter yellow. All of these, the butter yellow, the green, they would be beautiful for a spring tablescape. So absolutely love those. All right. Now, I try not to pick up single plates, but sometimes I make an exception if I think it's really pretty and it would be a beautiful, display piece or decor piece or just something to serve little treats on. This is a Johnson Brothers plate. The pattern is Embassy, and I just loved the blue and white design on this. There's just something really quite stunning about this. So it's a single plate. I'm going to list it on the shop. If it doesn't sell, it won't hurt my feelings because I love blue and white. So I can always use it to serve some of my daughter's little baked goodies on here and there. And then I have this set of 4 little tiny plates. They almost have a chinoiserie look about them. And they are beautiful for setting a candle on, using as a coaster, if you will. They're just really lovely. And the back stamp is Otagiri, Japan. Really lovely, and they're in perfect condition. They have a little gold band and then that lovely medallion design. So there are those. All right, I'm gonna make some more room here so I can finish up this haul because it is a long one. You may want to press pause and refill your glass of whatever you're drinking. I'll be right back. All right, I've cleared off some more room. So I have several tea-related items in this part of the haul, and I warned you this was a long one. But we are getting close to the end, I promise. Now these next items that I picked up, they were so filthy dirty with dust when I first saw them that it was hard to even see how beautiful they truly are, but I could see that they were lovely. So I brought them home and washed them up, and it is a set of 4 of these beautiful little milk glass teacups and saucers. They're made in France, and this is the close-up of the cup. It has this floral pattern on one side, and then it looks like this on the other. And there are 4 cups and 4 saucers. So really lovely. They're a very petite size, so beautiful on a spring table or just stacked for decor. I mean, look how gorgeous that is. They are just so lovely. I'm telling you, as I'm sitting here looking at them, I'm thinking, maybe I want to keep those. They're so cute, really, really cute. Also, in the tea department, or coffee, I guess, I have this cream and sugar set. It is just a creamy white color, And it is, I believe it is Pottery Barn. It's a Pottery Barn creamer and sugar bowl. Again, in this white color that will go with anyone's decor. So there's that. As you know, I recently thrifted 2 teapots, or you know if you've watched the channel that I have recently thrifted 2 new teapots. So I'm letting go of one. And it's this beautiful brown, made in England. There's the bottom. I don't know if you can see that with the glare. Made in England with this almost kind of like Greek key design on it. Very, very pretty. It is in perfect condition. Here's the inside. No chips or cracks. It's really, really lovely. So I am letting this teapot go because I've recently taken in 2 new ones. So I cannot be a teapot hog. I need to share the wealth. So this teapot is looking for a new home. I also found a couple more of these clear glass pedestal mugs. These are really especially beautiful, I think, because they have a faceted design. Look how pretty that is. I think these are actually technically maybe called Irish coffee cups, but they are so beautiful and they look so pretty when you pour your coffee and then you pour the cream in and you can see the cream kind of swirl around. Perfect for your pumpkin spice latte in the fall, but lovely any time of year. Really, really gorgeous. Just 2. Unfortunately, I wish I could have found 4, but I did find just the 2, but they are in perfect condition. No chips or cracks or anything like that. And then I found a set of 6 of these little tiny, almost like punch cups. They're very mid-century modern looking. They have that like a wood grain band around the middle, and they are silver. I mean, I don't know exactly what kind of metal they are. I mean, I'm not sure, but really cute. And as I said, there are 6 of them. And all of them are in perfect shape. The banding is not wearing off. The silver's not tarnished. They're really, really cute. They made me think of my sister Kathleen because she has kind of a mid-century vibe in her house. But how pretty would these be at the holidays to serve a little bit of wassail out of? So I found those. And as I said, 6 of them. I found this really lovely Lenox pedestal dish, and I offered it first to my sister Patty because she collects Lenox and she does not need this, so I'm listing it on the shop. I don't collect Lenox either, but it is the classic cream with the gold band. I think this would be so beautiful at Christmas time with some Christmas candy in there. How gorgeous is that? I mean, it's just absolutely elegant and so, so classic. Now these next 2 items I shared in a previous haul, and I was uncertain about whether I was going to keep them, but I've decided I am going to let them go. There are 2 of them. They are these bowls. They have almost look a little bit like a lettuce pattern bowl. Again, very, very mid-century, and they're in perfect shape. I think they're so pretty. They look great stacked up. How lovely for spring. You could put, you know, a creamer, you know, a creamy white creamer in there, stacked somewhere with some daisies or something. Just lovely. I just think they're so, so pretty. So those will be listed. All right. I don't know what this bowl is, but it was so unique and I had never seen anything quite like it that I decided to pick it up. It's yellow and it has that really cute little scene, country scene there in the middle. And it was just a single bowl. I really have no idea of the maker or the pattern. I think I'll probably try to Google Lens it. If I learn anything about it, I'll leave it down below or in the description box or something. But I just thought this was so cute. And the cherry yellow color. I wish there had been more of them, but there was just one and it was, you know, headed to the bins where it would inevitably, I'm certain, have gotten shipped or broken. So I saved that. That is one thing that was headed to the bins. This next thing was also headed to the bins, and I broke my rule of never buying a single plate. So I did buy this really pretty red sunflower plate. It is vintage Pier 1, and it is in perfect shape. And I thought, how pretty would this be in a 4th of July display or vignette? You could pair it with some blue willow, some flags and other things for some red, white, and blue decor. Some, you know, it would be great part of somebody's patriotic decor. So I couldn't let that go to the bins. This would certainly get broken. So I rescued that. And then the next thing I picked up is this really beautiful lacquered tray. Now let me put my glasses back on and look at the back. It says Flying Horse is the brand, and then it has some Chinese or Japanese characters. I think they're Chinese. Hold on, Phoebe. It's in the afternoon when I'm filming this, and it's time for the dogs to have their supper, and they know it. So that's Phoebe scratching the door of the pantry where we keep her food, letting me know that, you know what? Enough of this thrift haul. I'm hungry. Hold on, I'll be right there. It is just so beautiful, and it has this lovely kind of green and brown design on it. I don't know, there's something so striking about this tray. I don't really have a lot of things with an Asian theme in my house, but honestly, this was so beautiful, I could not leave it behind. So I am going to list this on the shop. And we are down to our final 3 items. The next item is again something that's a little bit unusual for me. It is this piece of slate that is painted with this equestrian scene. Now, growing up in Vermont, we have slate quarries there, and in our backyard, there was a bunch of slate. In fact, the roof of my childhood home was a slate roof, and these are the slate roof. This is a slate roof tile, so I recognize that immediately. And there's just something so nostalgic about seeing slate. I can remember when we were little, there was a big, we had like a big compost pile way out back where we threw leaves and things. And I think when my brother Danny was little, he fell out there, and there was a piece of slate like this in there, and it cut his knee very badly. He had to have stitches. But anyway, that's just a little, you know, family history on me and my brother Danny. But anyway, this is a piece of slate that would have been like a roof tile, but it has this really pretty equestrian scene that someone painted on it. And let me see, I think it is actually, and they clearly started to do something on the back, but gave up. It is dated 1977. It has something Smith 77. To Denny, maybe? I'm not sure. It has a little inscription on the bottom. I can't really read it right down here. And this is where it's signed 1977. But I thought this was just so fun. And, you know, it's propped up on a plate stand. This would be really lovely in a study or something. Then the next thing I found was this. My dad had one of these. It is a measuring stick, and it comes undone like this. You kind of go back and forth. And I can remember him having one of these in his toolbox when I was a little girl. So I had to pick this up. And some people can unfold them and refold them and make stars out of them, like to put on a mantle at Christmas time. I don't know how to do that. But anyway, there it is. It was just so nostalgic. I had to pick it up. It's such a fun thing. So if you are clever and you know how to fold or unfold this into a star, this is really fun. They look really beautiful if you have a collection of them. This also just looks pretty kind of in a vignette. So there's that. And then the final item, yes, the final item, I know this has been a long haul, is this set of 3 light blue Tupperware canisters. Let me pull them out. So there are 3 canisters and 3 lids. So you have the large, medium, and small canisters and the large, medium, and small lids. Again, this was not something I would normally pick up, but it was so nostalgic. I had to bring it home with me. And I thought, you know, honestly, the original Tupperware this stuff is tough. I mean, it does not break or wear out or whatever. I mean, original Tupperware is expensive if you buy it now, and it is hard to find them with all of their lids intact. I'm wondering if there maybe was a fourth canister that was even bigger, but I'm not sure. At any rate, there are 3 canisters and 3 lids, and it is marked Tupperware on the bottom, so it is the original Tupperware. So these will be listed on the shop as well. Whew, okay, that is everything. That was quite the haul. Now, say a little prayer for me that I get these things all listed before this video goes live. Otherwise, people will be logging on and sending me messages like, where is that stuff? So I'm going to spend the next day or so getting all of this stuff listed on the shop. So by the time this video airs and you are seeing it, all of these items should be available on the shop. Now, do make sure you're subscribed to our newsletter, as I said earlier, because sometimes I will send out ahead of the video, the shop listings through the newsletter. So go ahead and go to relativelyrefined.com and sign up to be on our mailing list. All right, if you enjoy thrift hauls and thrifting, I will link some videos here and here for you to check out until our next upload. I also do want to say that my sister Patty is doing well and improving, and she will hopefully be feeling up to making videos in the very near future. And thank you so much to everybody who sent prayers and well wishes and kind thoughts. It really is so very wonderful of you, and I know it meant a lot to her. So thank you so much from the bottom of her heart and my heart. We all appreciate you and how much you support us and our channel. We really feel like, you know, even though you're on the other side of that camera and I'm sitting here, I do feel such a connection, and we think of you all as friends. We love hearing from you in the description box, and maybe someday we'll be able to meet in person. But until then, take care of yourself, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye-bye.